When I started watching Naruto as a kid, a couple of characters always stood out to me, and the ones who stood out the most were Shikamaru, Kakashi, and Neji. And to this day, those are some of my favorite characters. They all have some great characteristics and development, but I cannot talk about all of them at once. So if you want another one next week, make sure this video gets 15 likes. But for now, let's start with the story of the genius, Neji Hyūga. Neji Hyūga was born as a part of the branch family of the Hyūga clan, but he was also one of the most gifted Hyūga ever. He was born with great natural talent and amazing Byakugan abilities, and because of that, his father was very proud of him. On Hinata's 3rd birthday, he was branded with the cursed seal all of the branch family members were branded with. That brand also sealed his destiny as always being under the control of the head family, being that members of the head family can literally inflict enough pain through that seal to kill him. However, Neji was still just a little kid when all of this was happening, so he didn't completely understand everything that was going on, but his father, Hisashi, did, and it didn't sit well with him at all. One day Neji and Hisashi were watching Hisashi and Hinata train, and Hisashi got mad to the point of wanting to kill Hinata. What angered him the most was the fact that she was really weak, and Neji was a prodigy. And yet, Hinata was important, and Neji was just another branch family member. When Hisashi got mad, Hisashi sensed the murderous intent, and decided to inflict great pain on him through the cursed seal. That moment traumatized Neji, as well as showed him what the cursed seal really meant. He was finally starting to become aware of his destiny. Not long after that, the Hyūga incident happened, where Hinata was almost kidnapped, but Hisashi managed to stop and kill the kidnapper. The kidnapper was from the village hidden in the clouds, and they didn't want to confess to any of this, and accused Konoha of trying to start a war. They wanted Hiyashi's body, but head family killed and gave them Hisashi to keep Hisashi safe. Or that was at least what Neji knew about the story, but we will come back to this later on. So because he was thinking that his father was killed for no reason but to protect Hisashi, Neji started to hate the Hyūga clan as a whole, but especially the head family members, Hinata and Hisashi, and he swore to hate them until the end of his life. This experience also made him realize that there is nothing he could do to change his destiny, so what he did was coldly accept it, even though he hated it. Slowly, time went on and Neji grew stronger each day. He joined Team Guy alongside Tenten and Rock Lee. Lee was Neji's polar opposite. He was someone who was destined to never become a ninja, but he still became one, and worked harder than anyone to become stronger than everyone, completely fighting his fate, while Neji was someone who accepted it. They became rivals, and Neji thought of him as of nothing but a fool, because no matter how many times they fought, he could never win, proving Neji right over and over again. Soon enough, the Chunin exams rolled around, and his team progressed through all of the exams, and time came for the 1v1 preliminaries, where Neji was fighting Hinata. This was finally the fight where Neji could express his hatred and torment Hinata, proving to her how weak and worthless she is. So he started playing mental games with her, telling her how she should just quit this fight and maybe being a ninja as a whole, that she was too weak, and that despite being from the head family, she would never be strong enough to defeat him. He went into this fight thinking he knew exactly what was going to happen. He was certain that she would just quit, or if nothing, stay lying face down. So he went for it. He went to the lengths of exchanging gentle fist blows with her and making it look like they were almost on the same level, but he was actually just closing her chakra points while not even really trying. But even after all of that mental torment, Hinata refused to give up, and that made Neji furious, to the point where he even wanted to kill her. How dare she still not give up, even after all that he has done to her. However, he was stopped by the Yonin, and after that Hinata collapsed. Neji didn't like the way this fight ended, but he still proved he was stronger despite only being from the branch family. Later during the preliminaries, he saw the Lee vs Gaara fight, and he was surprised by Lee's strength. This was the first time he started overthinking his ideology of being fated, because Gaara was also fated to win this. He had talent exceeding even his own, yet Lee, someone who was born with no talent, gave him a good run for his money. He also wondered what would have happened if Lee ever fought completely seriously against him. But at the end, Lee still lost, and Neji was proven once again that no hard work would beat natural talent. If you are weak, you are fated to lose. So despite his ideology wavering during this fight, it only got stronger after the fight. A month later, the Chunin exams continued, and it was time for the Neji vs Naruto fight. This fight meant a lot to Neji, because this was where his ideology was finally broke. In this fight, Naruto was the person who proved him wrong, showing him that you can succeed if you don't give up. If you had will to continue, there is always a chance you will succeed. Two things Naruto said during this fight were always stuck in Neji's mind from then onwards. Once I become the Hokage, I'll change the fate of the Hyuga clan. And you are not a failure. These were the words that Neji needed to hear. And that combined with Naruto proving to him that if you don't give up, you can succeed, made him change his ideology and way of life. Now combine all of that once again with the fact that he right after the match found out the truth about his dad, being that Hisashi decided to die against Hiyashi's will by his own free wish. Hiyashi even kneeled before him, asking him for forgiveness. All of these happenings in one day came as a huge shock for him. So in order to cope with this, he decided to find his goal, something that he himself has decided to work towards. So he decided from now on to protect Naruto and help him become the Hokage to change everything for the better. Naruto became what he aspired to be one day, and this showed quite a bit during his fight against Kidomaru, where he never gave up. Even though he knew he was weaker, he finally got to understand what it feels like to live the giving up is never an option lifestyle. From here on, he continued to improve as both a person and a fighter. He was the first ninja from Team Konoha to have become a Yonin, and he had clearly changed his outlook on life. The life which would not last for that long. Because during the 4th Great Ninja War, he made the decision to sacrifice himself for the sake of Hinata's and Naruto's lives. The people he once wanted to kill were the ones he gave his life for. When dying, he finally got to feel how free his father felt when he decided to die on his own accord and for people he cared about. Not because of that cursed seal or because he was forced to. When Naruto asked him why he did that, all he said was because Naruto once called him a genius. And that will be for today. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click the like. If you want to watch more of my videos, well, there's like at least a couple on my channel. And if you want to stick around, why not click the subscribe and maybe even the bell. If you have something to add, or if you agree or disagree with some points, make sure to comment them down below. I love discussing opinions because that is what this is at the end of the day. And now this outro is going for too long, so yeah, that's about it. Trigger. Oh.